Welcome to The Explainer. We're diving into a huge question today, one that comes from a really fascinating piece by Ricardo Bolaños. It's this: when AI and democracy collide, is it a match made in heaven or a total disaster? Let's get into it.
Really think about this for a second. Democracy. It's not perfect, right? It can be slow, it's messy, it's complicated. But what happens when we start to outsource its decisions to these clean, logical, supposedly impartial algorithms? Can a piece of code actually make better choices for us than, us?
Okay, so first, let's look at the sunny side of the street, the optimistic view. The idea that AI isn't a threat at all, it's an upgrade, a kind of democracy 2.0. The promise is that it could make our systems way smarter, faster, and actually more connected to the people.
And we're not just talking about, making some government office run a little better behind the scenes. No, the core idea here is much bigger. It's about fundamentally changing the relationship between a government and its people by finally being able to understand what millions of citizens actually need.
And look, these aren't just some abstract pie-in-the-sky ideas. Just imagine an AI that could sift through, millions of public comments to figure out what a community really cares about. Or think about it streamlining all that red tape so you get a business permit in minutes instead of months. That's the dream, right? A government that can finally listen and act at a massive scale.
Okay, but that's only one side of the coin. For every single one of those amazing promises, there's a pretty scary flip side. We have to look at the darker possibilities, where this exact same technology becomes a tool not for empowerment, but for control.
And this is the central paradox, isn't it? The tech itself, the algorithm, the data processing, it doesn't have an agenda. It's a tool, a classic double-edged sword. An AI that can personalize a public health message can just as easily personalize, a piece of disinformation. The only thing that changes is who's using it and why.
And just look at how this can play out. It's kind of a chilling mirror image of all that good stuff we just talked about, right? Instead of analyzing our needs, it micro-targets our fears. Instead of helping citizens participate, it manipulates public opinion with armies of bots. This is the manipulation machine, powered by AI, and its whole purpose is to chip away at the very trust that holds a democracy together.
So you see, this isn't some simple story of good guys versus bad guys. The real challenge, the really hard part, is in the gray areas. It's about the incredibly difficult ethical trade-offs we have to make when we use this stuff. And spoiler alert, there are no easy answers here.
So let's start with this first big one: transparency versus efficiency. Of course, we all want government services that are fast and effective. But what if that speed comes from a black box algorithm, one that's so complex even the people who made it can't fully explain how it works? If an AI turns down your loan or decides to reroute your bus line and nobody can tell you why, haven't we lost something really important? Something like accountability?
And that leads us right into another classic dilemma, just supercharged by AI. Freedom versus security. This tech gives governments a power to monitor us for threats like never before. And yeah, that could stop crimes before they happen. But it could also lead to a society of total surveillance. So the question becomes, how much of our personal freedom are we okay with giving up to feel a little safer?
And then there's this one, which is maybe the most dangerous of all. We hope algorithms will be fair and impartial, but what are they trained on? Our data. Data from our world, which is full of human bias. So if you train an AI on decades of hiring data that was biased against a certain group, guess what? The AI learns that bias. We are literally in danger of taking our own injustices and programming them right into our automated systems, making them seem objective and worse, permanent.
Okay, so all of this stuff, it brings us to a really subtle but absolutely critical question in this whole debate. It's about that fuzzy, blurry line in how we talk about politics. Look, political campaigns have always tried to persuade people. That's just part of the game, right? But when an AI can create a message just for you, a message based on your search history, your deep-seated anxieties, your private hopes, is that still just persuasion, or have we crossed a line into something much more insidious, something like manipulation? So when you look at these incredible promises on one hand, and these profound risks on the other, one thing becomes crystal clear. We can't just sit back and watch this happen. We have to be the ones who design this new digital future.
And this quote, it really nails the core problem. Technology is moving at the speed of light. But our conversations about ethics, our laws, they're moving at a snail's pace. If we don't close that gap and fast, we're basically risking our own inventions tearing down the very principles, freedom, fairness, that our democracies were built to protect.
And at the end of the day, that is the challenge in front of all of us. The future here, it's not set in stone. AI is going to be whatever we decide to make it. So the question we want to leave you with is this: how do we, as a society, as citizens, make sure this incredibly powerful tool ends up being a friend to democracy and not its enemy? That's the conversation we all need to start having, right now.